Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Antonio here from Pixelrater, and we're about 2 weeks away from the launch of the Nintendo Switch. There's quite a few games coming out, about 100 in development in total currently. So we brainstormed here at Pixelrater and we came up with 15 games that we can't wait to play. So let's dive in. The first game on our list should come as no surprise, and it's none other than The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now this title was originally announced at E3 back in 2013 and was supposed to come to the Wii U in 2015. However, over the years, Nintendo had multiple delays with the title, and after the Nintendo NX was announced, it made a lot of people speculate that Breath of the Wild would see a release on both the Nintendo Switch and the Wii U at the same time, and that's exactly what happened. We can't wait to play it on Switch because it's the biggest adventure that Link has ever embarked on. And the fact that we can take it on the go is mind-blowing. Look at the action. This is a console quality Zelda game you can take with you and play on your commute, on the train, on the subway, on the bus, and then you can dock it at home and pick up exactly where you're left off. And that in and of itself is amazing. Next up on the list is a title that I got to play at the New York event called Snipper Clips, Cut It Out Together. I'm really excited about this one. This is a co-op puzzle game where you and a friend try and cut different shapes out of each other to beat puzzles. And as you can see, the overall aesthetic is very cartoony, very joyful, very bright, colorful, happy, and we definitely can't wait to play this. Next up on our list is Splatoon 2. Now, anybody who has a Wii U most likely had the first Splatoon, and what Nintendo did was pretty amazing. You know, a lot of people wrote it off when it was first announced and when the trailer debuted as some kiddie game that nobody would get into. But in all actuality, once people got their hands on it, they fell in love with it. Nintendo took the third-person competitive shooter and made it bright, colorful, fun, and accessible to newcomers, as well as requiring skill and demanding skill from those people who are more seasoned gamers. Splatoon 2 looks to add all new environments, some new modes of play, as well as a slew of new weapons, including the dually pistols, which you'll see right here. Even if Splatoon 2 ends up being more of the same, the fact again that we can take it on the go, network it over Wi-Fi with up to 8 other Switch consoles, or plug our Switches in and have a 10 console LAN party is crazy. And we absolutely can't wait to shoot paint at each other in Splatoon 2. Next up on the list is Super Mario Odyssey. Now, admittedly, when this trailer debuted, I didn't quite know what to think of it. Seeing Mario run around in New York City, or as Nintendo calls it, Donk City, was a little jarring, especially seeing him run and interact with human-sized people. It was a little weird. However, later on in the trailer, they showed a lot of Nintendo-esque and Mario-esque environments with Koopas, Goombas, and the like, and it started to, really feel like a Mario game. One of the things I picked up on is that Mario has a lot more expressions and animations than he's had in any other Mario. The fact that Nintendo is bringing Mario back to its N64/Super Mario Sunshine sandbox gameplay roots is awesome. Next up is Skyrim. Now I know what you're about to say. Skyrim came out in 2011 and it's out on PC, Xbox 360, PS3, Xbox One, PS4, and you're right. However, once again, the fact that you can take this Skyrim game with you on the go, a game that people have put hundreds of hours in, and have the same game save and play it on your TV and take it with you on the go, is reason enough. I think some people may double dip, and people newer to that game or that franchise who never picked it up before, I think this may honestly be the best way to go about playing it. This next title might upset some people, especially those who backed it on Kickstarter for the Wii U. Yeah, I'm talking about Ukulele. Now this was kickstarted a couple years ago by some former Rare developers who worked on titles such as Banjo-Kazooie back in the Nintendo 64 days. Now this is pretty much a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie since Rare owns the rights, but Ukulele looks to bring the collectathon/3D platforming of the N64, Mario, Donkey Kong 64 days, and kind of reinvigorate it for the current generation. Now, personally, I'm not really into fighting games. I'm not that good at them, and I usually get my ass kicked when I play with people. But this next title is one that I know Tristan is really excited about, and this title is Ultra Street Fighter II. This, along with Snipper Clips, is an excellent example of using the Nintendo Switch in tabletop mode. The fact that you can take this game and hand your friend a Joy-Con anywhere is going to make this an awesome fighting game, and one that we think a lot of people are going to play for quite a while. I've never played this next title. I've never played an entry in the series, but it's none other than Fire Emblem. Now, we do have Fire Emblem Warriors coming to 3DS and Switch. However, Nintendo also announced a proper Fire Emblem game coming to the console. With the recent iOS game, Fire Emblem Heroes, being a bit watered down, Tristan told me he can't wait to sink his teeth into a more beefy JRPG game. Next up on our list is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. All of us here at Pixelrater are most likely going to double dip because it supports, once again, 2 players on one Switch in tabletop mode. Just hand your friend a Joy-Con and you're both racing and battling it out. The new Deluxe release also has all the previous DLC of the first game, as well as a brand new revamped battle mode with arenas, which was a big criticism of Mario Kart 8 on Wii U with its lack of arena battles. So we see a lot of people picking this up, and a lot of people didn't pick up a Wii U or have Mario Kart 8, so we think re-releasing this is going to be great for the franchise. Next up is Project Octopath Traveler. Now, we admittedly don't know a lot about this. We had about a 30-40 second teaser trailer, but the artwork looks incredible. You have pixel sprite-based characters set against 3D rendered backgrounds and environments with beautiful lighting. And it looks to be another, great, fresh new IP from Square Enix, a JRPG style, combat-based system. So we can't wait to hear more about this. Another title we can't wait to play is actually a Sonic game. I know, right? Sonic Mania. We're gonna have a lot of the best levels from old Sonic games, as well as some reimagined levels and some new levels. So think of it kind of like a greatest hits album with some unreleased tracks, and you basically get the idea of what this is gonna be. A fast, fluid, frantic, 2D side-scrolling game that made Sonic famous back in the 16-bit era. Now, once again, this next title I admittedly know nothing about, but I do know that Tristan is super pumped to play this game. What game am I talking about? Puyo Tetris. The basic premise of Puyo Tetris is like mashing Tetris with Puyo. Combining these two makes for fast, frantic multiplayer gameplay that anybody can pick up and learn. Now, this next series Tristan and I are pretty excited about. We didn't see a lot of gameplay. We saw more of kind of like a teaser trailer, but it looks gorgeous as you'd expect. What am I talking about? Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The original Xenoblade was also completely remade for the new 3DS to take advantage of its extra horsepower and C-Stick. As you can see, the worlds are huge, lush, and begging to be explored, just like Zelda. We can't wait to dive in sometime later this year. The next title, ARMS, is the newest IP from Nintendo, and looks like it's going to do for the fighting genre what Splatoon did for the 3D competitive shooting genre. ARMS is a silly, bright, cartoony, arcade-style fighting game that uses each Joy-Con's motion controls for punching and blocking. Now, I didn't get to play this title for myself, but from what I've heard from others, it's easy to get into and start, but harder to master, and there's actually a lot of depth in the gameplay and upgrade systems available, as you can upgrade your character's arms, which all have their own different abilities. So this will be good for newcomers who just wanted to have a quick little boxing fight, but then it also might be good for those who want a more die-hard and in-depth fighting experience. Now, if you listen to our podcast at all, you may know a couple episodes back that we got on the topic of No Kuni, which is a title that I've heard of, but I never really knew anything about. I'm most likely going to skip the first one altogether because I find it really painful to go back to my PS3. However, my interest is piqued in No Kuni 2 coming out to Nintendo Switch, and Danny is super excited, and I'm going to tell you why. As you'd expect, No Kuni 2 is the sequel to its predecessor, the original No Kuni, and it's a game that looks like it's taken straight out of a Miyazaki film. No Kuni 2 follows a boy king who's been forced out of his castle and is on a journey to reclaim what's rightfully his. Along the way, you're going to be able to recruit creatures who will fight alongside you, as well as learning and being able to cast magical spells in combat. This kind of sounds like a pretty badass Pokemon-esque game, so count me in. Alright, well, that ends our list of 15 Switch picks. These are all games we can't wait to play. Again, a good amount of them come out this year, so let us know in the comments below what games you're excited about and why. And we'll see you guys for Switch.